to me.
How do you decentralize a phone when you need a network to use in terms of like in terms of just the
Great
more
question.
towers you ever hear every commercial, we have more networks than any other group anywhere, and like
Yeah.
so how does a phone, does it tap into that without them knowing, or how do
Yeah.
you guys do that?
Yeah, so one of our taglines is you have the freedom to choose because there's actually a lot of different ways to use this thing. So, like you said, with there's major networks in the U.S., and if you want to travel outside your house, you need to use a cellular network. There's only three or four major players in the U.S.: AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. So if you're on their towers, you're connecting to one of those three, and they also share infrastructure as well. So even though you're using T-Mobile, a lot of your communications are going through AT&T switches. So that's one way to do it. You could take your existing service and use it with this phone, no problem. In fact, it works with any service in the world. So it doesn't matter if you're in the US, doesn't matter if you're in Australia, doesn't matter if you're in Africa. It'll work. Now, the decentralization part is, okay, you don't just have to use a cell network. You could also just connect it to Wi-Fi. And then we have a number of different solutions like video conferencing, kind of like what we're doing here, or we even have an internet phone number, which it works over the internet. You don't need a SIM card, and you pay with Bitcoin, $5 a month. So you can use solutions like that to stay in touch with people and be more off the grid than actually being on the cell network.
And like if someone buys a phone, they can easily find all this information if they go to your website.
That's right. Yeah, and we're doing a promo for you, Sam. So if you go to abovephone.com, that's above like up, abovephone.com/tinfoil hat. It'll have all this listed out. There's a little chat button if you have questions. But yeah, so it'll work with any cell service. And what the phone is, they call it a de-Googled phone because Google infected its way into every piece of your phone. Apple also equally sucks, and we can talk about why it sucks. But it's kind of like organic food. What really makes the phone is all the additives and gross shit it doesn't have in it. So instead of using Google for location services, it actually uses the GPS satellites like it's supposed to. And so that's what makes it a de-Googled phone.
Well, I love it, man. I'm interested in checking out your phone. I'm dying to get off these phones. I need them for work, obviously, but yeah,
it's a beautiful phone, Sam. It's not like you're sacrificing anything with it either. You know what I mean? It's got everything on it. It's not like you're going back to like a flip phone or anything like that. Not even close. It's amazing. I've got one in the other room.
It'll unlock a world of stuff. But I mean, I want to hear from you guys too. Like, what are some of the creepy things that your phone has done? Have you guys like noticed?
Well, I mean, we all know it listens to us 24/7. It takes pictures of us. Like they've done weird, like I don't know what is the camera, but they do
infrared,
and it sees its picture.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
It reminds me of my ex all the time. It's like, remember this memory?
Oh, really?
Your memories. It shows you memories of like the past. You're like, I don't need this right now.
Yeah, well, so many people don't realize when they share a photo by default on Apple, it's got all the metadata for the photo. So it shows where they were when they took it, when they were, what camera they used, all that stuff. And then I hate I'm glad they do it, but the service that Apple has now where they're like, hey, this app has been tracking you, and it shows every time it's picked up your location as you travel around the city, and you didn't know about it until they told you about it.
Oh, what apps are those? Yeah. No, isn't that why it says ask not to?
Yeah, exactly. That's what the pop-up is. It's like, hey, do you know this app's been tracking you? What do you think about that?
It's great. And I don't even trust that at all.
No, of course not.
It's funny when Apple is the arbiter. They're like, by the way, these apps are tracking you. We're good though. We're definitely not tracking you at all. And my main frustration with these big tech companies, they act like you're their bitch. Like really, they act like you're an NPC and you're not even responsible enough to use your phone. So they'll make massive changes without even informing you. And everyone who's using maybe an iPhone or a Mac right now can check this out. They did this in the past 2 weeks, but they rolled out this feature called enhanced visual search. I shit you not, takes all the photos on your device. Doesn't matter if you're using iCloud or not. And they literally scan it for landmarks like the Statue of Liberty or the Pyramids of Giza or whatever the fuck. And they scan it And if it finds a landmark, it literally will send that to Apple, and they're collecting this massive database. So you can check this setting right now. Go to, on your iPhone, you can go to settings, apps, photos, scroll down, and if you see enhanced visual search there, it will actually be on. And this is a massive feature. They rolled it out to like hundreds of millions of phones, presumably, and they didn't even make a blog post. Like, they just don't give a shit, right?
That's not good. That's not good at all.
It's crazy.
And you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. My girlfriend loves when iPhones send you a little photo, a little video of here's your experience here, and it knows, and it just clumps everything together, and it knows exactly who's in the picture, where you are to make.
Oh, dude, with that AI and machine learning stuff, it's so scary. Yeah,
it is. It's crazy, and you fall for it because they'll take your kids, they'll put music to it, and you're like, oh, thank you, iPhone, for making this cool little video that I can put out to everybody. But then you realize that, like, well, now they have your kid's face.
We're heading for Minority Report. Remember when Tom Cruise's character in Minority Report was walking, John Anderton, I think was his name. He's walking around, and the ads would customize as he walked past him, like, hi, John Anderton. Yeah, and it would turn into like a Guess cologne commercial or whatever. It's going to be our experience now, walking around where everything, especially once it's
there's no reality
in your
anymore.
eyes, in your glasses, dude.
There's no reality. There's only they're going to form how you see the world, because what people think is people are trusting human beings. We trust. We want to believe that we have this basic thing where it's like, oh, you're not going to lie to me. Why would you lie to me? But what they don't understand, it's not really a lie. It's a manufactured reality that they funnel certain data to you, which is called your algorithm. They'll funnel the data to you so that becomes what you think is the world. And if you don't think you're falling for that, unlog into any app you have that shows you posts, and then go back to it unlogged in and see what the front page is. It is a completely different reality. It's Japanese anime. It's, whatever it is, kittens playing. Yeah. Completely opposite of what you've been fed into believing this reality.
And it happens in every app, dude. I know sometimes my girl, like, I log into her Disney Plus app or whatever the hell that thing's. It's completely different shit. It's even in, a video app like that.
And guys. I was gonna say yes. This is totally happening. There's no like bright line. They're just not gonna stop. If they could put an ad inside your body, they fucking would.
I mean, the craziest thing that I remember was a Pokemon Go. You thought it was a cool little Pokemon capture thing. They were using it to gather information on the app, and you think
they were having you create you were mapping for them.
Yeah, which is crazy because you said we're trusting people. You assume you're just playing a game, like, oh, Pokemon, I love Pokemon. My kid's playing Pokemon. No, they're using you as collecting data.
Well, and you mentioned that they will change the terms of service and not even tell you. So what if they do tell you? Does anybody read those damn things? Nobody. It's like that South Park episode. Nobody reads that long list of shit. Nobody.
That's a really good point too. It's one thing to be like, okay, I don't believe in surveillance, but I'm just not going to be a part of it, right? I'm going to live my life. But no, that's not enough for them. It's actually really, really it's like an evil genius move. Yeah. And Apple does this. Both Google and Apple do this. Like, if you use location services on your phone, it used to, like a decade ago, use GPS satellites. But today, they're collecting all the Wi-Fi location networks in the world. And guess who's collecting it for them? It's us. So there was this independent study by the University of Maryland, and they found Apple's Wi-Fi positioning system, and they were able to abuse it over and over. Apple didn't even put any restrictions on it. Oh, wow. And they gathered 2 billion Wi-Fi networks across the world. Like, that's literally every place there's a human on Earth. Like, the only part that they couldn't see was the Amazon rainforest. And so Apple has this giant database. Google has been, building this database for a really long time. And the researchers, because they did this over a period of months, they were able to see like people in Ukraine, like soldiers, like literally leave Ukraine. They saw their Wi-Fi networks move. Oh, that's crazy. They saw Wi-Fi networks in Gaza completely just get destroyed off the map. It's crazy, man. And so there's these secret databases we don't know about. And it's like our hands aren't even clean if you use a big tech phone. They'll make you a part of it.
Yeah, you have no say in it at all. It's so crazy to me. Yeah, and it's just like our convenience is going to be our entrapment.
Dude, it's like these Amazon devices. There's a reason those things are dirt cheap. You can get an Amazon device, a little Echo or something for like $5-10 when they go on Prime Day. It's because of that. I think it's called Neighborhood, and they've networked all those devices now, and you have to opt into it, I think. But so they have all, like, in your neighborhood now, all of them are communicating.
Sidewalk.
What's it called?
Sidewalk.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. And they have a little tiny bit of your bandwidth that gets dedicated to this encrypted spectrum that they all share with each other. Which is, I mean, if that's compromised, can you imagine the potential? A nightmare.
Well, it's beyond the phones too. It's your Ring doorbell cameras.
Yeah.
I mean, they can paint a pretty decent picture of who you interact with at your home by grabbing all that data.
What about
and
Telegram?
building a profile.
What about Telegram? That doesn't work at all. I mean, at the end of the day, the
Telegram app. You're asking about Telegram app?
Yeah. All those ones where like you do. I mean, I don't know. We have one. It's supposed to be pretty decentralized. Is it not?
Is the encryption legit?
Yeah, is it legit, or is it at the end of the day?
Well, I mean, it's still a human flaw in that, like we learned last week, with the Yemen thing.
Yeah, Telegram was it was never. It was always like you had to trust Pavel Durov, CEO of Telegram, right, to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he was big baller for a minute. He was straight, big dick energy for a minute, like not taking requests from anybody. He would ignore court orders. Like he had an empty office in Dubai. He would just never answer the mail. And then Macron, like totally top 10 anime betrayaled him and brought him into France. And so now, he's stuck. So there's probably more data that's being leaked from Telegram that we don't know about. They're censoring a lot more channels now, for what it's worth.
And if you're playing on their playground, they probably make the rules of the play. When Elon Musk, who I don't trust as far as I can kick him, when he wants to make it so, you can't block people anymore. And Apple's like, well, then you can't be in our store because that's one of our rules. You got to be able to block people who are harassing you. So then he kind of compromised, made, okay, you can block them, but they can still see your shit, which to me is crazy as well.
I wonder why he did that. Yeah. Hey, and guys, I want to offer too is if you want to see what exercising Bill Gates and Apple out of your phone looks like, I can just bring up the phone right here and we can get into it. If you have any questions, like I can just demo it here on screen. So I'm happy to do that.
Sure. Yeah, show us.
All right, so check this out. So the first thing we'll look at is this private app store. So one of the main issues with apps on big tech phones is there's usually 3 third-party companies that are tracking what you're doing inside of the app. They call it advertising and analytics. And so let's use an example here. So this is a private way to access the Google Play Store. Like another feature about the phone is you don't have to log into anything, right? As soon as you log into an Apple ID or a Google ID in your account, well, I mean, your identity is connected to it, right? Whatever you're visiting, whatever you're browsing, that's all connected to your profile. With this phone, you don't log into any account like that. But this is actually a homie in India who built this app that will let you download apps privately. You don't have to sign into anything. Now, here's the crazy part. This is like going to the store, getting some food, and actually looking at the nutrition facts. For any app, this is Adobe PDF reader. It's like a fucking PDF reader, right? That's going to read files on your phone. But you look at it, and it's actually got 9 different companies sitting in there.
Whoa.
And this is, yeah. So Google, Facebook, all these people, and this is like the average. Whatever games and stuff you have on your phone, they have more than this. So this is giving you informed...
Go back to that real quick.
Yeah.
Go back to that where you look at that. Facebook, Google, 2 Googles, 2 different Googles.
3
different Facebooks.
3 Googles, 3 Facebooks. Fucking Adobe.
Wow.
So let's say you have the phone and you accidentally or for some reason download one of these apps. Does that you just delete the
You're
app.
fucked, man. The police are coming to your house.
I wouldn't doubt it. You're like, why do you have this phone that we can't track?
No, so look, it's not the end of the world. Like, we all make mistakes, right? No one's perfect, but the point is you can have informed consent. So you're like, okay, I'm not going to use this PDF reader. I'm going to hop over to my friendly organic app store, which is called F-Droid. And this is a separate app store. It's available on Android. So if you have an Android phone, you can search it F-Droid. But all of these apps are organic in the sense that you can see what their code does. They're free and open source is what they call it. And so there's alternatives, right? If I search PDF, I'll have a bunch of different options. And the cool part is, I've got Library Reader here, is this shit will work offline. I'll disconnect it from the internet, like as a PDF reader should. There should be no reason it's connected to the internet. So that's another thing this phone allows you to do. You have control over all of your permissions. You can disconnect apps from the internet and a whole bunch of other stuff. So on Above Phone, we have alternatives for everything, right? Whether it's navigating around, we have offline maps. Whether you want to download videos off of YouTube directly to your phone or play them in the background.
You can just download them or rip them or watch them.
Yeah, all of them. Let's see if we can find your show. You're on YouTube,
you gotta
right?
put not tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
Not tinfoil hat podcast.
That's it. Basically, we don't even control
we don't post.
All right, let me just download your latest video here.
Oh shit.
So download, you want it in audio or video?
Let's do video.
Are you constantly having to work around them trying to defeat this if you're operating this
There is a little bit of a war, but honestly, like, open source developers, they just got those hands. They're just working, dude. They're putting in the work.
That's great.
And like Google will try and break it, and within a day they'll fix it. So it's not too bad.
I have a few apps that I use for this, and they're always asking for donations because they're at war with Google.
Yeah. I have this Downy 4 I rip all my videos from. They're like, hey man, we're trying. YouTube is making it real hard, which is hilarious because so much of YouTube's content is reaction videos. They're shooting themselves in the foot by not allowing you to rip the video.
Well, they want you to do it internally with that Clips program, which is just trash. It's totally garbage. But they want you to do it with them, and it's ridiculous. It's worthless. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Sam's podcast. There we go. Bang. Yeah, man.
Now, and this is downloaded just the source file, right? No, there's no Google shit inserted like ads or anything, right?
Yeah, it's just the straight MP4 for the video. And what I like to do is so here's another thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys are
let me ask you something real quick. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. So I see these these symbols right here, say background or pop up. Mm-hmm. Is that from you or from YouTube?
This is a special app called New Pipe. And so these are features you would normally pay for with the YouTube app, right? You would pay $9 a month. But here you just get them for free.
Wow.
So one of the things, you play it in the background, you can do that. You can go on your run or whatever. You don't have to pay shit. You can watch it. It's doing its thing.
Whoa, that's amazing.
What's that thing where you it's like jailbreaking your phone in a way? Do you remember jailbreaking your phone? I remember you could do crazy things if you knew how to do it back then with an iPhone, but you could compromise your phone.
Let me ask you something. Is that file downloaded to your phone? Meaning if I go to videos, I can find that video in my phone of videos. Here it is, actually. It's this is in my downloads. It's downloaded. It's almost a gigabyte. And this is kind of like jailbreaking, but it's the next level because we're not modifying the existing operating system right at the core of the phone. This is an operating system that is built from the foundation of Google's, but just with all the Google shit stripped out with extreme security features. Like the police cannot break into this. There's Israeli companies like Celebrite. Their whole business is breaking into phones, and this phone is on their list. They can't break into it.
Oh, wow.
So there's all these security benefits, and it also unlocks all these things that'll save you time and they'll save you money and fucking give you peace of mind.
Now, let me ask you something. How do you know they've been trying to break into your phone?
Well, so this company, it's called Celebrite, and what they do, so they work directly with law enforcement. So they'll have internal marketing material, and they'll be like, here's a grid of phones we can break into. iPhone 14 Pro Max, no fucking problem. We can pull all the data off of that, even if it's locked. Samsung, no fucking problem. This phone, this is Pixel 9, and the operating system is called Graphene OS. It's a security-obsessed operating system. Shit, we can't do anything about it when it's locked. And the only way they'd be able to pull data off is if they knew the PIN code, which, they don't. And you can do very long PIN codes. There's different ways to protect the data on your phone. So this is the highest security phone a consumer can get on the market.
Damn. Fire. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I think it's important, dude. I think it's very important that we figure out alternative ecosystems, because it's going to get. I'm really amazed that shows like ours, Charlie, haven't just been completely not just I'm convinced that the hosting channel, the hosting site that hosts the show's audio is completely and utterly fucking with my numbers. I catch them lowering my numbers every time. It never jumps up. It never goes. But I would expect it to jump up if I just put out an episode, right? Or 2 days later, I should have more than I had 3 days later. But I always see it jump backwards, dude. Whatever that number, we're gonna throw out 500,000, right? You'll refresh. Now it's at 450. And I'm convinced. We had an episode we put out that we put it out early, sometimes I'll put the episode at 12:01 the next day, right? And so therefore it's ready for you in the morning when you're on your way to work or whatever it is. It didn't go out. Did I forget? So it didn't go out. And I was like, did I forget to hit publish, or did I put schedule publish and never publish?
Schedule it differently. I've done it that way. We schedule a different date or a different time.
Yeah, or anything. Nope. Went to it, said publish. Still haven't been pushed out. Johnny had to tweak it, re-upload it or something.
I tried a few. I scheduled it and then hit publish.
And then eventually went out.
Reflowed it basically a couple of times, and somehow it worked. Yeah, but I have no idea.
But yeah, you just were tinkering with it. But if, let's say you didn't know how to do that, you would be effed. If we didn't have a nerd dork like Johnny on the show, we would be completely and utterly effed.
I'm surprised they haven't hit us harder, to be honest, Sam. I'm not trying to
especially
speak it into existence, but shit. We've been talking about some pretty subversive things on our shows over the last few years, and they know where to find us. And I'm sort of leaning more towards Corbett's line of thinking. He's like, you got to build a walled garden because and you need to have that email distribution list where you connects you with your audience, because if they pull you off, what happens is that your audience goes, oh, he died, or he got out of the business, or he did something else, whatever. They never get the message that, no, I'm still publishing, I'm still doing this. It's just being shut off. I know Lindsay Sharman, my partner on Day Zero, she had some major fuckery happen with her podcast hosting site where it took everybody off, and then she had put it back on, reinstall it, and it didn't. And anybody that was a subscriber before never got the message that it had been taken off. So she would get an email from someone and says, "Oh, I just saw that you put out an episode. I haven't heard from you. I haven't seen you in over a year. I thought you were done doing this." And she's like, "No, it's my podcast player is playing games with me." So I'm expecting it. I'm not wanting it, obviously, but I'm expecting it. I think that they're starting to recognize that this is an industry that's not going away. People are drawn to it, and the numbers reflect that. And if we're talking about things, especially when it's dangerous, it's one thing to talk about COVID vaccines in 2025, but when you're talking about it in 2021, it's a whole different story. And so I can envision a scenario in which we get ourselves into some World War III, and if you're not supportive enough of what's going on, then next thing you know, you're either gone, or they do what you do, freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach, which is a term that was coined by the IDF. So I could see that happening as well. And it doesn't take much, right, to compromise the heads of these podcast playing hosting companies. You just need to get one guy in a bad spot, and next thing
they play dirty too. That's the frustrating part, right? Because it's like they have plausible deniability. So they'll just mess with you and it'll feel like a bug. Yeah. The same thing happened with Freedom Cells, right? It's like, oh, someone would come onto our site, post like a ripped movie, then report it. By the time I got to seeing it, they would kind of delete it. So it's really hard to deal with these things.
I think you're seeing that on Twitter with these bots. I think all everyone's talking about is how toxic Twitter is now. And I go, how much of it is real? If they can't control it, they flood it. That's what they do. They flood it. And, you know, for a long time, up until recently, I'm talking a couple days ago, I was like, Twitter is like this. I'm not saying there isn't censorship, and I'm not saying that some people in the space haven't gotten way more censorship than other people. But I was feeling there was real conversations starting to happen. Like it was this place, this town hall where you'd present your idea and you'd get instant feedback. Now, I posted a thing about the guy who went to McDonald's and tried to help his kids. And he tried to get a job, so he had the oldest one watch the kids at the McDonald's while he tried to get a job. And the comments were so nasty, and they were always from someone with a fake profile pic and a fake name. Even the bots have got more sophisticated, where they're
the porn bots.
The porn bots are the only nice people on the internet.
But they don't bother you. But the problem is they limit your reach, and you can tell that you've got one because it'll be the first one that likes your content, and then your content goes nowhere.
Meaning porn bots.
Have you guys seen the bots that they're now using large language models? So they'll know the context of what you posted, and they can like kind of evoke different feelings. We've seen that on Telegram a lot, but it used to be kind of like crappy, like, oh, hello. And now it's more like, oh, like, why would you promote this or something? It kind of looks weird, so they'll cause fear, uncertainty, and doubt and stuff.
I'll even go farther. I was talking about this last night with Tino Sanchez from Tinfoil Hat and Trevor Mala. I posted something about Ben Shapiro when he had said about, the RFK assassination was so long ago, why do we care? Right? And he wrote an article about it. Like, the guy is completely unself-aware of how stupid that looks when everyone knows your blind spot. So I posted it, and I go, what a peculiar thing to say, which has a little negative connotation to it, right? The comments were just toxic. Like anti-Jew, 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 to the point I had to take it down. Even for one of my posts, I was like, okay, this is not good. So I took it down, and then I go, I'm going to do a little bit of a different kind of caption this time. I'm going to say, one of the most interesting articles of 2025, completely different comment section. Not that there wasn't a Jew here, a Jew there thing, but way more positive, way more like, not, let's just say, not negative like that. Where if like someone looked at the comment, they'd be like, this is like a Klan rally. That's what I felt like the comment section was getting. And I was like, okay, that's not good. And it just fits into that video that went out about the girl who watched the video, told her boyfriend about it. Her boyfriend found the video on his phone, and then they compared the comments, and none of them were similar. They were all completely different comments with completely different vibes. Even the comments are curated to a way to elicit emotions and feel and reality.
They call this dead internet theory, and most of the activity on the internet is bots or paid provocateurs, but now it's bots. I don't know, do you guys remember seeing that thing about Reddit like a really long time ago? They would publish like the cities or locations that use Reddit the most, and in 2005 they were like, oh, the most addicted city is Eglin Air Force Base.
That's great. Wow.
That's crazy.
Langley, Virginia is off the charts here. We don't know why. We're really popular
our
there.
number one customer.
Can't even use a VPN in the military intelligence. Like, what are we doing now?
They learned that year.
Okay. So you have DARPA. You have all this incredible technology development. But for some reason, some kid in the basement trying to get pussy somehow is able to come up with shit you can't even phantom, and then you end up just co-opting it. But it's crazy to me how they get outworked by these people.
Sam, have you ever noticed that there's two different origin stories that they use when it comes to technology, transformational technology companies? Either you're a freshman starting a tech company in your dorm at Harvard that with stolen technology that wasn't yours, and the word on the street is you're not very good at coding, and then you go on to be worth billions of dollars and pump that money into elections and eugenics. Who am I talking about? Am I talking about Bill Gates, or am I talking about Mark Zuckerberg?
Or
am I talking
about totally.
Because they have the exact same origin stories. Or the second one is you start another transformational technology company out of your garage in Palo Alto, like Hewlett Packard or Google
or Jeff Bezos.
Right. So there's always the origin story. They never tell you that the technology is coming from In-Q-Tel. They failed to leave that out, or the Stanford Research Institute, or whoever, or just outright the CIA. But it's always this origin story. These lucky nerds who were hacking away, trying to get laid, building a cool database to try and get some pussy at Harvard. And what do you know? It just happened. We ran into this investor, a guy who was willing to give us $500,000 for 10% of it. Yeah, his name's Peter Thiel. We don't know where he came from. I mean, certainly didn't come out of DARPA. Didn't come out of his partner, Alex Karp, wasn't one of the co-founders of In-Q-Tel, wasn't involved in In-Q-Tel. So like you start to feel like, oh my God, like the origin stories are the same. The people involved in it tend to be the same. But when you peel back a couple layers, what you find is the intelligence agencies are all over this stuff.
Hold on, guys. I need to go clean my garage real quick.
Yeah,
you should clean all the hidden microphones out of it too, because God knows they were bugging us. Remember when they used to have to you're like, damn, I think my phone is tapped. I think they've tapped my phone, and now you've just got a Amazon Echo, like on your kitchen table.
Yeah, totally.
It's like,
Tap
it's the same thing.
With Bill Gates, the guy who gave him money was, I hate to say it, my man, Paul Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer, yeah.
Yeah, they were on the same floor. And Ballmer just happens to be part of the committee of 300, which is crazy to think about. That guy owns the Clippers, and he's one of the three. Yeah, nobody ever talks about Ballmer. They only talk about how he's the richest guy in sports, but they never talk about how powerful he was, because he was like, he knows how.
He's
I'm stupid,
he's
guy.
Kooky. Yeah, he's kooky.
I dance. You
like
know,
when they're doing that dancing to the Rolling Stones on stage at that Microsoft event. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah.
Hey, I think that it boils down to this bullshit meter about these heroes that are really that really elevate themselves in society. And I could almost make a guess, if a company is big enough, or maybe publicly traded, or past some revenue mark, you probably sold out. You probably took it in the butt or something from someone.
Probably both.
Probably both.
Imagine you having to get $1 billion and taking it in the butt at the same time. You're like, oh man, I got to do both of those. That's awful. But it's also my whole theory about this has been the game since the jump. Like the story of Mayer Rothschild, who kicks off the Rothschild empire, is like, that story is Paul Bunyan bullshit. Oh, dude, he was 13 running an investment firm, and he was so smart. And dude, that's all bullshit. They just it's all data. Who is a psycho? Who will slit his own mother's throat for $1 to be famous for chicks? And that's who they push forward. The Gates programs, all that stuff. Johnny was in the Gates program. He obviously was a retard, and they're like, oh, we can't do anything with this guy, so let's not do anything with him. But the rest of them, they've been everything. Again, now we talk about data. They were doing that long time ago. If agents in Hollywood can find open micers who they think have a chance, then the government can find an idiot or some fucking psychopath in the dorm room who they think, hey, this guy could do something. I'm telling you, that's what they did with Epstein. Like, Epstein gets that job teaching at school. Bill Barr's dad puts him in there, probably was told to put him here, because that guy, I guarantee you, if we went deep enough into Jeffrey Epstein, there's a sex scandal, like some kind of sexual assault or something like that, very early where he has to play ball. Same thing with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's up on murder. They got him dead to rights. He gets off it. Now he's pushing every single narrative that they want, from Kanye getting out, leaving the flock to trying to herd him back in. 1 second he hates Trump, next second he loves Trump. He's just a flip flopper. He's not gangbanger. We like the RJ on the 2 episodes ago said, not from Compton at all. Singing about Compton all the time.
How much better do you think they are at it now, with all the extra data they have on us now?
I'm sure they have 100%.
Yeah, like accuracy. They can find the perfect kid right now.
Yeah.
The perfect kid. Back then it was missing trial. It wasn't the perfect kid.
Altman is the best example, the Sam Altman guy. Like, this guy gets accused of murdering a whistleblower and sexually assaulting his sister for years, and the next day he gets half a trillion dollars from the U.S. government. Gets a $40 billion investment just like a couple days ago, right, Johnny? I mean, that is a real-time example.
It's a funding round. Yeah, they got $40 billion. That was a record.
To a guy accused of murder and sexually assaulting a child.
Crazy. It's almost like it's like a prerequisite for the hiring requirements.
Yeah. 100%. It's like, I've never seen it that brazen before, but this is where they're at. To the point.
Or they dig into they find somebody from a family that has a leaning like that. Like Bill Gates' dad was well known before anyone knew who Bill Gates was. He was coming up through that Planned Parenthood. He was the chairman of the board of Planned Parenthood. He was deeply involved in the Reagan administration. He knew all these guys. I mean, the idea that Bill Gates is some anomaly that's just a real good programmer that understood, had this idea for Windows. I mean, it's a stolen technology. So who got it for him? Frankly, also his mother was deeply involved in this stuff as well. So sometimes it's family, it's intergenerational fuckery that goes on, and they identify a family early on and take some, and you're born into the cult and you're a part of that and you've got a mission.
What do you think, Charlie, of this real ID that they're pushing right now? What is it that makes it?
Can't fly without it now.
So but I can fly with a passport though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
You just can't fly with the California ID no more.
Yeah.
Got to be a real.
Why is that? What is that? What does that mean? What does a real ID do that everyone's freaking out so bad about it?
I don't have a real ID. I haven't had any sort of problems flying.
No.
I think it starts in May.
Oh, it's
the real ID, so I think it's been a requirement. They've been pushing it back, and I've been trying to research this. And from what I can tell, it's a little NFC, near field communication chip, that's in the ID.
Oh.
I believe it has your picture in it, so they could scan it and they pull it up. And I mean, that's basically a digital ID on paper. So we're right there with these digital ID systems. And there's also
ID, but digital ID, we're totally fine
it's
with,
so crazy to me, the mental gymnastics that come along with this. It's like unbelievable to me.
You should have seen us coming back from an Acapulco this year. There were a bunch of us. We were all on the same flight, leaving Acapulco and going into Dallas. And when you clear customs, they put you through you got to take your shoes off and do the scanner and everything again. Everybody was opting out, and there was a huge line behind us because they didn't have enough TSA agents. So we were all making like, no, we're opting out. Do the pat down. Make them do the pat down. And as I was putting my shoes and putting my belt back on, walking away, one of the guys that was on our flight with us was back there, and I could see him just getting in a full blown shouting match with the TSA. They're like, "Sir, we're going to arrest you." He's like, "I know my rights. You can't arrest me for this. Get the fuck out of here!" And he's just screaming. I'm like, I better get on my way to my next flight.
Hakeem, did you have something to say about the real ID you were going to say?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that it's just kind of a plan B for them if people don't go along with the digital ID, which is now it's here, right? Google Wallet, Apple Wallet. Now the TSA is accepting a digital version of your IDs in that system. I think it's like 6 states now that you can actually use your Google or Apple Wallet to show to a police officer if you get pulled over. So we're only a few steps away, and I want to remind everyone, the software that Google and Apple Wallet is based on they just roll it out to hundreds of millions of phones at once. So if we continue to use these phones, one day it'll just appear and digital ID will be there. And that's, now we're just one step away from a social credit score system. So it's pretty scary to see that.
Also, I'd like to remind people that when you go through the airport and the TSA guy asks for your license and your boarding pass and scans it and he says, look in that camera, you tell him, no, thank you, I opt out.
Yeah, you're allowed to opt out for sure.
And opt out. And don't go through the body scanners either. Make them do a hand pat down. And make them do the hand pat down right there in public. Make that guy get on his knees and grab your balls in front of everybody. I want that guy to go home and cry himself to sleep and say, I shouldn't have taken this shit job. By the way, when you get hired at the TSA, they give you a test. And you can remind the agents of it too. They won't like you very much, but it's true. They give you a test, and it's a little bit like golf. Low score wins. You don't want to score too high on the test. They won't hire you if you score too high on the test. It's also like taking the test to become a cop. If you score too high on it, they won't hire you.
Yep.
They want people that have no real life trajectory. They want somebody that's just smart enough to work the machines, as Carlin would say. And the reason for that is because they spend a lot of money to invest in training, and they don't want somebody to take that job and then 3 weeks later say, I am out of here. This is the worst job I've ever had. They want people to be desperate. That's why everybody who works at the TSA looks like they're dead in their eyes. You know what I mean? So you make them get on their knees and you make them grab your balls in front of it, and you do that, and you do it with a smile. I red-pilled the guy that was frisking me on my way to an Acapulco. He's like, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Acapulco. He goes, business or pleasure? And I said, well, actually business. He goes, what kind of business are you in that you get to go to Acapulco? I said, I'm an author. And I could have left it at that. I was just about to leave it at that. And then I go, I'm actually the MC of the largest anarchist conference in the world. And he's on his knees. Obviously I'm opting out. So he was saying to me, no judgment, no judgment. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah. And he goes, that sounds awesome. And there was part of me that wanted to stick my arm out and go, brother, come with me. I'll rescue you from this shit slave job that you've got right now. And there was another part of me that was like, no, I want this guy to think about that for the rest of the day. And then I want him to go to his boss and quit.
Yeah.
I just like to tell them I'm doing this because I love having my dick touched by strangers with uniforms.
So let me ask you something. So Trump wants to get rid of the TSA, or it seems like it. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think that looks like? What does that look like? Is that just making the airlines pay for the TSA people? Is that what that looks like?
Maybe it's going to be another Doge situation where they fire anyone you can actually talk to and try and hold accountable, and there's just going to be a bunch of machines in their place automatically taking pictures of you. So there won't be anything to opt out of. It's just a robot.
Yeah, I've seen that in Europe. Yeah, they have a lot of in some places in Europe now. It's all just automated. There's not even a person there.
Dude, I went to a concert and I wanted to go get a couple beers, and I was like, "Where's the cashier?" Like, just walk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just walk. And they charged me. They charged me. And I was like, no. And they knew exactly what I bought. I was like, oh, man, hopefully I get charged for Gatorade.
Right? Facial recognition?
Yeah.
Well, what you do is you either put your phone up to this thing, or you put your credit card in, and then anything you walk out with.
And you scan your card, so they already have your credit card. Just knows exactly where you're.
I mean, Steve Ballmer just built the most gorgeous arena for the Clippers, and you could either stay in line, show them your ID, or you can just take a picture of your face and literally walk right through. And
we're gonna give them all of this, dude. That
well, here's the thing, Johnny, and this is the only thing I'll push back on. They already have it.
Yeah.
But probably.
They have all of it, especially if you're on this show at any point. They have everything you've ever done.
People say they need consent, but we've already given it, and we're gonna keep giving it. It's. I mean, the convenience is so. It's so compelling, to us humans.
Well, there will be a point very soon in the future where it'll be the only way to get into sporting events. And I see what you guys are saying, but just on a spiritual note, I will not consent. I will rip UFC at home and just watch it that way, because I will never, I don't want to bolster these systems. And I think every individual action will matter. But I don't know. Did you guys hear that story about Madison Square Garden, they're doing facial recognition now? They recognize someone on the way in who was critical of the founder of the venue. He had made a T-shirt, and they saw it and they stopped him from entering. So it's like, opt in or not, they know you're doing the podcast, and maybe they'll kick you out eventually.
There's no bigger baby in the world than James Dolan. He's a spoiled brat, shitty ass band guy. Yeah,
the worst.
So for wearing, there we go, of course.
Yeah.
So don't talk shit if you want to go see Tom Segura at the fuck Madison Square Garden, dude.
Well, I made that joke with the audience at Acapulco, like, hey, how many people it's your first time here? And half the audience raised their hands, like, all right, you're all on a watch list now. Congratulations. I mean, they know where to find us.
Hang out with cool people. Yeah, that's it. I totally get that, man. It's but you still have to fight because it's your moral obligation to be difficult, to fight back to the extent that you can, to always make it hard for them. Just throw sand in the gears, or as James Corbett would say, salt your information. He talks about this experience where all of a sudden one day he was getting like 1 million happy birthday emails from people. Hey, happy birthday. And what he was like, it's not my birthday. And he figured out what it was he put a fake birthday in Skype. And for whatever reason, it had it somewhere. So anybody that was connected to him thought it was his birthday and would message him. And he's like, no, this is, whenever I log into anything, I give them fake info to the extent that I can. So. I do that on a ton of websites. And it's so funny because my fake age is still old as shit. And it's crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting.
January 1st.
That's all I do, dude. All the time.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. January 1st and whatever year I want to pick, which I think would be somewhat realistic for people to believe, So I do it all, unless you
when you're logging into Pornhub with your
maybe
fake.
Maybe already knows my data. Yeah, you always put January 1st. I'm like, damn, dog, that's pretty good.
I do one day.
Well, dude, if you put your data in on, if you put it in on OnlyFans, the girls will message you back. I get off on that.
Okay, hey dog, I respect that, dude.
They have bots there now, by the way. The bots on Only, I saw. It was on YouTube. There was an interview, and apparently all of the popular OnlyFans people now just have a bot that replies to.
Like, how lazy are you that your job is to finger blast yourself, and you don't even want to take the time just to talk to the people
hundreds of guys
that allow you to.
They can't talk to all these guys. Now these guys all think they have a personal relationship with you now.
We're doomed, but
here's my Amazon wish list. Check that out.
It's unbelievable. And I believe so. One thing I wanted to talk about was about how the system creates the infrastructure, and then at some point they implode it for a new system that's slicker. A great example is MySpace with Facebook. Like, they wanted MySpace. He wouldn't give it to him. So they're like, oh, we just got the slicker one. We're going to replace it, and we're going to implode MySpace. Well, the new thing is Pornhub versus OnlyFans. OnlyFans has come in. Pornhub is just getting murdered everywhere. Everywhere they go. A rabbi owns it who is just trying to teach people how to get around age laws, which is a weird thing to fucking openly speak at a conference. There's videos of the owner of Pornhub telling people how to get around age laws.
What do you mean? Oh, like the login thing where you have to give your
that, or like the age of the people in the videos.
Consent?
I don't know. Either one is not good.
No, it's weird though. Yeah.
But then OnlyFans comes, and OnlyFans is even more what they want, because OnlyFans fits into this kind of destroying the divine feminine. You're convincing women that pornography is a noble profession. And I always tell women, if you think it's a noble profession, go to YouTube, look up porn star deaths, because there's guys who just put these reels together of all the adult film stars who have passed away and how they passed away. And it's literally OD, murder, suicide. OD, murder, and suicide. Every single one of them. Once in a while, you'll get some, we don't know how he died, or a heart attack or cancer. You'll get that. But everything is violent, sad endings. Because you're getting farther
it's
from
like being
God.
a professional wrestler. Just know, those guys all just die young. And
yeah, but the professional wrestling fits into combat that men are built for. Pornography is spiritually crippling.
Sammy, I had my big Hollywood, encounter was when I was valet parking cars. I one time valet parked Peter North's car.
Oh my God. Wow.
I was like, I don't know if I really want to sit in this car or not.
Long ropes, bro. Known for his long ropes. That guy was hitting 3-pointers before Steph Curry was, That guy was. And it's, it's like I did a show called The Naughty Show, and, we had adult film stars in it. And then one of the biggest names decided she didn't want to do it anymore. And I just called her up to see if she wanted to do it. And she goes, no, I don't want to do it. And I prefer if you don't hit me up anymore. So somewhere out there is Belladonna trying to act like she's a normal human being.
Yeah.
Walking amongst us.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that, savage who brought the space teeth fucking hot look into the world.
People inviting her to the batting cages all the time,
Yeah, I mean, and so that she had a kid. Somebody's kid is like,
oh gosh,
the greatest ever do it's offspring.
That's what I'm worried about.
Why? Your
all
kids?
the kids of OnlyFans moms, and the people be like, "Oh, dude, I jerked off to your mom. Have you seen your mom?"
Oh, yeah, that drives them
that's
crazy.
That's gonna be a lot of kids that are gonna go crazy with kids.
Well, and also look at what it does to the just humanity. The women who are jumping into OnlyFans are built like Vikings. They're meant to be mating with billionaires. Like the greatest of the greatest
NBA players.
Like they're meant to be getting with alphas. And now because of this job, unless you're like Anthony Edwards' baby's mama who just hit the gold mine, if you're not, the males in your life aren't of top ilk. So it's going to destroy the stock of humanity in this country.
Who I became friends with back when I was living in Vegas and I sold her a house was Houston. You remember the Houston 500?
The Houston 5, of course, dude. Back when that meant something, you were like, you're a savage. Now that's just.
I don't know. Is she boned 500 guys?
Yeah, that was it. Back when that number meant something.
Oh yeah,
people are like, you're crazy. Now
it's like the old 3-point numbers. They've far been surpassed now. All the old 3-point records.
The chick who tried to do. I don't want to get too dirty on the show, but it's like one chick tried to do some crazy thing.
The world's biggest game bang is the Houston 620.
This other chick tried to do something. Let's say backdoor of that number.
I see.
And now she has to go get $6 million man. They have to rebuild it quicker, faster, stronger.
Just go get her ACL.
Yeah, she's on
put
the
back
IR.
together.
Gotta get that thing tightened.
She's icing it down. She's and it's just who knows,
guys? Here's a question I'd like to pose to y'all. Is there any pathway for redemption? People who've gone down this arc and they regret it. They say you can't make a hoe into a housewife, but. Is there any point in trying? The Kali Yuga ended just a few days ago. Ended last week,
Nobody
right?
talked about it. You think that'd be a big deal? Nobody talked. Happy end of Kali Yuga, everybody.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We're there's no way we're gonna get more degenerate, more brain rotted than we are right now. It's on the way up, guys. So I want to hold out hope. I also want to pray to these people who sacrifice their bodies and just say, hey, it stops here. Let's try and relearn what it is to be human.
The biggest problem I have, and no, I think there is redemption. I think there's people who did it and they come back, they go, it was awful. I respect those people, and everyone makes mistakes. Some of us make mistakes in the dark. Some of us make mistakes on camera. And it just is what it is. And, as long as you're not murdering anybody or sexually taking sex from somebody in a rape, you can have redemption. I really do believe that. And you should be able to live a functional life. And, can you clean the slate totally? No. Belladonna will have to have that conversation. Whatever she becomes after that, she will have to have that conversation, and we'll see how she handles it. How she I believe in that. I think people should be allowed back. And I do believe that we're going to start leaving this low vibrational area or the end of the little season or whatever anyone believes, which is another argument for the little season. It kind of correlates with the end of the Kali Yuga, this kind of time where we're leaving this low density stuff. But I don't know how it can get more low density than people saying that children in Gaza aren't people. And they should be annihilated as well. That fat fuck in Florida that just got elected. I mean, how do you lose to that shape? If this guy doesn't even respect himself, how he's going to respect you? And that's what I would run on. I'm not going to die soon like this guy.
Hey, I heard Chris Christie, I think. I think that ended his career, just being the fat guy.
I don't know how that guy won after saying that people should go to jail for 5 years for saying spreading anti-Semitism.
Didn't Trump just, make it happen? He just gave him his personal recommendation.
He's compromised. Trump is owned by people that are allowing him, and it's just like this big demoralization campaign going on.
Here's an interesting thought too about Kali Yuga. There's this astrologer, I think his name is like BB something, but he had this really good article, and it was about kind of the metaphor of the forest fires in California, and how we are ending the Kali Yuga, but now we're in this period where we are going to be cleansed in a purifying fire. And so the fires in California were a perfect example of that, right? Burning through everything. But the things that were in alignment with God and with nature, like the, what's it called? It's like the Yogananda's sacred life. I forget the name of it, but essentially his center for spirituality, and the fire burned directly around that, right? So it's like you hold this frequency, and we're just watching this shit fall apart right now. That's kind of why the signal is so loud. They're so desperate right now, and we kind of just needs to hold strong and hold to our values and just watch it all fall apart.
I agree. It gets hard to stay in that, but I agree with that wholeheartedly. I believe that the laws of the universe are bigger than the biggest, whoever you think it is. I don't think it's Klaus Schwab, but he seems to be presented as that. I think there's people that we don't even know about that are way bigger than him, and they just let him take all the arrows. But they're not bigger than the universe, in my humble opinion. Even if we had our last episode, these energy vampires from the 5D, if that's what you want to believe, they're not bigger than the universe. The universe is built on authenticity and love, and if you're not going that way, it's going to catch up with you. And I just think that's it. All these guys, like, I think it's systematic. It's a controlled demolition of America. But I also believe, like, what we've done to the Middle East, in particular the Iraq, and killing those 4 million people. You cannot. There we go. Your book. That's his book. Yeah, Charlie Robinson's book is Controlled Demolition
of the American Empire. By the way, yeah, it's out there.
But a lot of that is spiritually too, like what we did to Iraq and Afghanistan, and what we're doing in the nail and hammer countries is spiritually decay, and that's why I think our country is going through a spiritual decay. I mean, if you want to look at New York City, there's no bigger epicenter of decay than Wall Street. I mean, that is the center of the snake, and everything they're saying Cuomo is polling to lead to be the new mayor. Like, what? You can't save New York if that happens. There's no saving New York. If that guy gets back in the mayor after he killed all your grandparents, unbelievable. Not forget the phone. One more time. Tell us about Bub Phone.
Boom, she's back. All right. So we're building this new parallel system, right? And this new system, it's not going to be based on these fat fucking technocrats with billions of dollars and a propaganda machine around them. It's going to be the mom and pops, the salt of the earth folk all around the world, raising the bar higher than these motherfuckers who pollute our food and who pollute businesses in different ways. And that's what we're doing at Above. This is a self-funded private company without any third parties. And we've built a whole suite of tools. I don't just have this phone here, which can do everything your old phone can. It can do it better. I mean, fuck, you could take a road trip around the United States without connecting to the internet. Here, I've got Nashville pulled up here. And if I zoom out on the map, you'll see that Tennessee is highlighted in green.
That's incredible.
That's right. And so in the future, when this does goes to shit, you want to be prepared, right? You could have the entire map of the United States downloaded. You don't have to be connected to the internet. GPS is a passive protocol, right? And you can navigate. You actually can navigate. I did a tour of the United States with Derek Bros using a map like this. And so we really need to get smart, right? We have to be the warrior. We have to be the poet. We have to be the lover. And we also need to be the farmer. And so technology is an important part of that, because I need to hit you guys up when shit hits the fan.
Yeah. So you're saying Klaus Schwab says it's going to be a giant internet blackout. This phone should be fine. Is that what you're saying?
It will be fine for GPS, because they would have to take the GPS out of the air. The GPS, the satellites are constantly broadcasting using lower radio frequencies, like something, and I think it's like 1,000 megahertz, and your phone can pick up on that.
Wow.
So even if the cell grid is down, GPS satellites should work. I mean, it's possible they turn it off, but still, you have this badass map, and ahead of time, you can already pick all of your friends' houses. You can pick, places to forage berries, and you could save this map to your phone, have it completely offline, and share it with other people. And then this is going to be the future. This is resistance. Instead of depending on Google Maps, we're going to be able to share these map files. At least that's one of the many visions here.
Well, so this is. I love your phone. I'm excited to look at it and tinker with it and use it. And so you have my number. We'll talk and get it going. Yeah. So that's so the website is abovephone.com. Check that out. Derek Bros is doing great work in the space, and I'm glad to see him and Ian Carroll talking. I think they're both important, and I would love for them both to be able to. Oh yeah, we got exclusive offer there.
Hey, can you switch back to me for a second, Johnny? Yeah, I just wanted to show you abovephone.com/tinfoil hat. So there is a 10% off if you guys get more than one devices. I'm showing you this on a privacy laptop right now. You guys got 11 days to take advantage of this, but there's phones, there's laptops, there's even a tablet. So out of these phones, we've got the 7A and the 9. The major difference is the 9 is just better. It's newer. It's 2 years newer. You've got updates until after August 2031. So you'll fucking survive Agenda 2030 and all of that. You'll still be running.
Good.
Hell yeah. And then the laptops, these are Linux laptops. They can still run all the software you want it to use. They're compatible with Microsoft Office formats. Like over here, I've got this Excel sheet. This is actually an Excel sheet. Boom, there you go, formulas and all that bullshit. I do presentations on this. So it is compatible with what you would normally use at home. We have 3 different models. I recommend the Aluminum 6, but they're all really dope. They have all the same features, and they're all private, no connections to big tech. And when you are checking out, remember to get above Suite. It's this option right here at the bottom above Privacy Suite. That is our VPN, email, calendar, video conferencing, encrypted chat, internet phone number that you can use on your laptop and use on your phone. In fact, all of these, you could do the same thing. And a search engine that lets you search for multiple different search engines. So it's all of that shit together for $100 a year. So it's a really good deal. I want you guys to check it out. And whoever's interested, we'll hook you guys up with products, and we can chat more about it soon.
I'm in.
And they've got great customer service too. I can tell you firsthand, because I'm not tech savvy. And when I got my phone, they connected me with somebody that walked me through setting it up. So if you're like me and you're a little bit like timid of technology, you think you might break it, don't worry about it, man. They've got great customer service for things like that.
All right,
thank you, Charlie. Yeah, it's each device comes with a 45-minute call for free with a real person, not AI or OnlyFans agency.
Or an Indian
my guy was
from
Wizard.
India.
I got a guy named Wizard when I did mine.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
That's cool.
And listen, with Activist Post, we're doing something similar, man. We're a small company. I didn't raise money. I used my own Bitcoin to buy this company. I did not take additional funds from somebody. I'm not beholden to anybody. It's me. I have a couple guys that are working with me on it, and we're all ideologically aligned. We're interested in making sure that people have the right information that they need to navigate this constantly changing world that we're living in. And hopefully, if you like it, bookmark it, share it with your friends.
Is there an email list, Charlie?
Yep. There's also an email list that you can get on. It should pop up like one of the first times you go there. After a certain time, it'll offer you my 3rd book, Hypocrisy, for free in digital format. You can sign up, and we do get the email list that we're just getting up and running with that. So it'll be a nice way for us to continue to keep in touch with people so that they so they know that that we're here, and we can feed them a weekly wrap up of. We're about to launch a weekly wrap up of the top stories of the top news stories each week. We'll put that out on a Sunday afternoon. Send it out to people.
This is fantastic.
So in Natural Blaze as well. If you're somebody that's interested in your health, or maybe you find these conversations interesting, you can go to naturalblaze.com and check out the articles that are up there. That website has been in existence for 14 years. The Activist Post website started 15 years ago, but we built a brand new one. So it's a little looks a little fresher. It's a little lighter, as they say. Works on your mobile device extremely well. So, and obviously macroaggressions. You guys know me. You know where to find me.
Hey Charlie, are you what's your role?
Are you shredded like that, Charlie?
Are you publishing, or are you editing? Are you contributing? Are you getting bylines there? What's your role on the Activist Post?
I am the editor. I'm the DJ. I'm picking the music that everybody's going to listen to on the site. You know what I mean? I'm going through the articles. Independent Media Alliance, all their articles everybody gets tagged. You get your name in there and the publication that you write from. And also, if you're a member of the IMA, I put that on there as well. So if you're interested in searching through, you can just find the tags and pull it up that way. But yeah, I'm not writing currently, but I have written for Activist Post in the past. That's how I got to know the guys, was that I would submit articles to them, and they knew that I was the type of person who would maintain what they had built, take care of their baby, and not bastardize it and screw it up and sell out or anything like that. So I do have sponsors. I have sponsors inside each article that you read. There'll be a sponsor ad that'll pop up. I encourage you to click on it, because these sponsors are tailor-made for us. They're the type of brands, services, companies that you would want to do business with. I'm not taking Monsanto or McDonald's money. It's not happening. So if you like what you see, support the sponsors that are connected with it, because they're there for a reason.
Charlie, thank you, man. I love what you're doing. I've been reading the articles. Yeah, it's sustainable, which is what I really like to see. Because I mean, we're swimming upstream here, and I want to get connected and be a full sponsor. So I want to chat with you about that.
Fantastic. And one of the 8 categories that we have is solutions, because it's one thing to complain about all this stuff, and God knows we're great at it. But if you don't offer people solutions, then I think you're doing them a disservice. So there's articles in there that will help you unschool, homeschool, get off, save your technology, all kinds of things that will help you not just realize what's going on in this world, but then allow you the opportunity to take additional steps to extract yourself from it. So we're glad to have we have fantastic sponsors. I couldn't be happier. So I hope people will just bookmark it, just check it out, go there once a day, see what's up. I post a dozen articles a day, different topics, but it's going to be, there's bound to be at least one article that people are interested every day.
All right, guys. Great show. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on. Open door anytime you guys want to come on.